What a day out there today. Hope you had a chance to at least enjoy some time outdoors.
In addition to all the food at this tent, look at that. We got some huli huli chicken fresh off the grill right now.
Tropical Storm Flossie just downgraded to Tropical Depression Flossie in that 5 o'clock advisory.
Who's taking care of the Coco Crater Railway Trail?
I'm Justin Fujioka in Hawaii Kai. Coming up, we'll look into the dangers lurking along these tracks. We're seeing some showers, thunderstorms, and some cloud-to-ground lightning, so be very, very careful if you're on the island of Maui.
I have to say this mound is about 20 to 25 feet high. All of this sand, dredged material from the mouth of Ka'elepulu Stream, and city crews have to do this on a regular basis, and that's because winds and currents tend to push sand from the Lanikai end of the beach and pile it up right here, blocking the stream.
Not over yet, but it looks like we dodged a bullet. We might be getting a stone still being thrown at us, but not the bullet that we thought earlier today.
On your mark, get set, go. The International Auto Show rolls into town. I'm Justin Fujioka live at the Hawaii Convention Center. A preview up next.
Let's quickly run down some of the stories. Justin, take it away.
But of course, the big story, Kenny, is Tropical Depression Flossie now.
If you asked anybody this morning, will this event go on? I'm sure many of you probably would have said no, but the weather has really cleared up, dried out over the past couple of hours.
We have sinking air across the state, and that's why conditions are just so stable and dry.
Almost all we spoke with, Paula, say they voted to ratify this contract.
Can you sing Viva Las Vegas?
Wow.
We've got a set coming in right now. I know Pamela and I, we've been talking about this for years now, about how for some reason on television, whenever we're live, we can never catch these sets, but looks like we got one coming in right now. Pam?
We were lucky. Thank you, Justin.
Yeah, that's right, Pam. Live look off Waikiki shows some volcanic haze lurking right there on the horizon. Winds right now are out of the east-southeast. They should veer more southerly overnight, pushing the fog plume into most areas of the smaller islands, lingering for a few days. We should see some slow clearing on Tuesday. Most areas should be haze-free by Wednesday. So we got that fog alert up all the way through Tuesday. People with sensitive lungs should stay indoors, drink plenty of warm fluids, and have medications on hand. The hazy and humid southerly wind flow is coming out ahead of this storm to our northwest. Find out if it'll bring us any rain and when it should move out, coming up a little bit later. Here we go again. Just 2 solid days of trade wind weather, and we are back without those trades. Live look outside. Not all that wild so far. We had some afternoon cloud buildups, a few late day showers, but still pretty haze-free here on the island of Oahu. Satellite and radar shows easterly wind flow early this morning, and then now shifting out up to south-southeast, all out ahead of a storm system off to our west. Rainfall totals today really not adding up to a whole lot, and our cloud and rain forecast continues to show that things are going to remain dry here for the second half of the weekend with no widespread rain except maybe the Kona side of the Big Island in the afternoon and evening. There's that storm system off to our northwest. It has induced that southerly wind flow across the state. Basically, we're going to see a light wind scenario all the way through Tuesday, and when that happens, we go into a convective type weather pattern where the land heats up much faster than the ocean, kind of like how say a basketball court heats up much faster than a puddle of water. And this imbalance creates a sea breeze to develop by midday, and that sea breeze helps to create some dark cloud buildups and a few late day showers over interior sections of each island in the afternoon and evening. But then at night, the opposite happens. The land cools off much faster than the ocean. Most of those clouds move offshore. We see a drainage breeze, and it's one of those situations that we tend to see the temperature falling close to the dew point in the overnight time period. So be ready for that. We'll probably see cooler than normal nights, and probably you'll notice those outdoor surfaces covered by dew by the time you wake up in the morning. Now, as far as temperatures across the state, 86 in Kahului right now, down from a high of 90 degrees today. When we have an east-southeasterly wind flow, we tend to see what's called adiabatic heating, where that wind gets pushed up Haleakala, it condenses, and then on the backside we see a warm, dry air funnel into Kahului, a downslope wind, and that will likely be the case again tomorrow. So another warm day there for the Central Valley of Maui. New northwest swell moving in for tomorrow, moderate in size. That should decrease as we progress into the work week. South Shore is also picking up on some 2 to 4 foot faces, maybe a head high set, even larger for Monday and Tuesday. Watch out for box jellyfish next weekend. Forecast for tonight, decreasing clouds. We'll see a few showers mainly in the evening, low of 69 with hazy conditions through tomorrow. We'll start off mostly sunny and then increasing clouds, isolated showers mainly in the afternoon, again mainly for interior sections of each island. We'll repeat the whole process all over again here Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then we're looking at those trade winds. Cross your fingers to fight back on Wednesday, and that should help to clear out that fog and haze. Believe it or not, we may be in for another round of haze by next weekend. We'll have more on that coming up tonight at 6.
Tired of it.
I know.
Thanks, Justin.
Take a look at this home. It's practically surrounded by Cutter, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge of Pearl City.
I've always grew up around these cars being fixed and stuff.
Bishop Kamahiai is the owner of the home, which has been passed down his family for generations. He says this all came to be in the 40s when Waipahu Garage bought most of the land around the property. Cutter eventually took over.
I got no complaints with them. I got no complaint.
The only side not bordered by Cutter is 4th Street, where he and his family enter their property. On the other side, a lot for vehicles. Just Mauka, Cutter's service and parts department. Looking Diamond Head, an open garage for repairs.
I do deal with the noise, but it's a give and take thing, yeah. We have a problem, like, say, example, lights. You know, they leave the lights on all night, it shines on us. Call them up, they get right on it, they fix the problem.
Kamahiai says Cutter has tried to buy them out 4 or 5 times and that they came close on a couple occasions. He says the last offer came 2 years ago and he doesn't know where they stand today. We could not reach the owner of Cutter for comment.
Money would take more than the average market value for me to get out of here. And I mean, I born and raised in Pearl City. That's all I know here. So for my family, I guess it's just so easy, everything right here.
Justin Fujioka, KITV 4 News.
Flossie is now less than 1,300 miles east-southeast of Hilo. Maximum sustained winds 60 miles per hour. That's up 15 from this time yesterday. It is moving to the west-northwest at 18 miles per hour. Forecast track shows it maintaining its strength through tomorrow night when slow weakening should begin. Could still be a weak tropical storm, though, by the time it is expected to hit the Big Island. I'd say around sunset Monday with winds of 40 miles per hour. But by far, I think flooding rain anywhere across the state, a much bigger threat Monday into Tuesday. Flossie should fall apart fairly fast after it passes the Big Island. Pretty confident that it's going to weaken because tropical cyclones need 80-degree sea surface temperatures, and you can see it is now starting to move into more 70-degree waters. Flossie is also moving into drier air, which isn't good for tropical systems. And finally, when it starts to close in on Hawaii, we're going to see some increasing wind shear that should help tear Flossie apart.
It's primarily for safety reasons. In fact, Yunji and Paula, the city regularly dredges the mouth of Ka'elepulu Stream, and that's because sand tends to pile up here. Winds and currents cause sand from the Lanikai end of the beach to just kind of collect right here at the mouth of Ka'elepulu Stream.
Nature is taking that sand in a one-way direction.
While this has been providing some with a pile to play on, it's no fun and games up the beach where there's been serious erosion for 5 years now, according to University of Hawaii geology professor Chip Fletcher.
In the past, episodes of erosion a year or two in duration would be followed by episodes of sand return back to the beach park, but this particular episode of erosion isn't ending. So we don't know why the erosion has occurred so dramatically, but many of us think that the reason it's happening more dramatically now is because we've had at least 100 years or more of slow sea level rise.
The city says there are plans to move this mound of sand and use it to replenish eroded areas. So when's that going to happen?
It'll happen within the month. The timing will be based on low tide so that we can get the most sand in the right place without it washing away again.
This process it's called backpassing sand. If we could backpass sand from the stream mouth to the boat ramp every couple of months, like quarterly, for instance, it's a very good way to counteract the erosion. It's a good way to manage the erosion problem.
Now, we should mention this project is separate from another sand dredging project upstream on the Mauka side of the bridge here. The city says it does not know of any safety hazards associated with this mountain of sand, but they warn to use caution because it was once in contact with this stream water here. And just this afternoon, we saw dozens of children kind of sliding down the hill here with boogie boards. Take advantage again, because this will all be gone within the next month. Live in Kailua, Justin Fujioka, KITV 4 News. Not over yet, but it looks like we dodged a bullet. We might be getting a stone still being thrown at us, but not the bullet that we thought earlier today. Live
live look outside. Oahu is now at the threat for the worst of the weather associated with whatever's left of Flossie. At this point now a tropical depression. It is a bit damp outside, but we're not seeing the heavy rain that Maui County experienced. Pinpoint radar shows a lot of those returns associated with those cells moving through Maui County earlier today, kind of falling apart, not quite as strong. Looks like the bulk of those thunderstorms passing to the south of Oahu. We still have a few, though, heading toward the island of Oahu. We still have a flood advisory posted for the island of Lanai until 11 o'clock. Still looking at the possibility of some heavier cells rolling onto the south shore of Oahu here, probably in the next hour or two. But for the most part, it appears, once again, that Oahu is not going to see the kind of weather that we saw on Maui County a few hours ago. Cloud and rain forecast shows, look at that. That system getting out of here by midday tomorrow, back to a dry trade wind weather pattern here. It may still feel a bit humid with all that tropical moisture still in our area. Winds on the backside of that system coming in out of the south now, and that's going to draw up a lot of moisture from the tropics, and also the reason why we're looking at high dew points, at least for the next 24 hours. It's going to remain oppressively humid in many areas. 77 right now, Honolulu, 79 in Kailua Kona, and here in Honolulu, 77 degrees. Relative humidity, boy, 94% with that southerly wind flow out there. East-southeast winds for tomorrow, still a bit on the breezy side, decreasing clouds and showers from east to west. And then it looks like by Wednesday, maybe still a bit humid, but at least we'll get that trade wind weather pattern back in place here. And I think that humidity should be back to normal by Thursday. We'll add on 4 more days, have your weekend forecasts, analyze more about the surf situation coming up in the next half hour.